Hello and welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Here we are. Morning.
Good morning. And today you wanted to talk about what's in an offer because a lot of times, people will say, "Hey, let's go look at this house," and it's oh, it's 200,000. Let's just throw out like 185 or
Let's
see
just
what.
throw a number at
Yeah,
it.
let's see what sticks.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of detail that goes into an offer, so that's what you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, and you mentioned the detail.
Mhm.
That is the big thing. So what, many times this isn't a game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it as gaming strategy, right? Negotiation, tactics, what's it going to do? But if you really want to get the house, if that's your whole objective, and we've talked about being ready,
Mhm.
the show is primarily about how do we buy a house, how do you sell a house, those kind of things.
Right.
We've talked about all those pieces. Now we're to the point where, okay, we're going to craft an offer. And I say craft because there's some thought that goes into it. It isn't just throw it out there.
Right.
Because you are signing a binding contract.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers and sellers, you're signing a binding contract.
Yeah.
And the contract is the purchase agreement that spells out the details. So the devil is definitely in the details.
Yes.
So, just want to hit some of the highlights. Maybe we'll go overboard, beat a dead horse on some things.
Right.
But in general, what most people, all they think about is price when it comes to an offer.
Yeah, right.
Right? What am I going to offer? Well, how low can I get it? Or from a seller standpoint, how high can I sell it for? Well, there needs to be a lot more thought put into it than just the price.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does the offer entail? Well, it says who's buying. Not only who's buying, but how are you going to take title?
Okay.
How are you going to take ownership of that property? So, if you are an individual, it's pretty simple. You're taking it as you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a husband and wife, there's numerous ways you can take title of that property.
Okay.
Generally, most married couples take it as joint trust with rights of survivorship. What does that mean? If one of the members passes, the rights automatically transfer to the other party.
Yeah.
So a joint trust, it's
Okay.
joint.
Yeah.
I've seen people buy that are non-married, whether it's two
yeah.
males, two females, a male, female, whatever that is, but two parties purchase a property. Sometimes they'll do tenants in common. So what does tenants in common mean? That the rights don't transfer automatically.
Yeah,
I've
never heard of this before.
Because most people don't do tenants in common.
Yeah.
But basically what that means is you retain the right within your estate. So if you think about it, a married couple, everything is joint, or typically everything is joint. Checking accounts, joints. If one passes, all of the rights transfer to the other party.
Yep.
With tenants in commons, if one party transfers, they remain within that party. So within their estate.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not here to give legal advice. There's plenty of attorneys out there that can do that.
Right.
And I don't generally give clients, hey, this is how you should take title. But if the question comes up, I will explain just those two parts that I told you.
Yeah, right. There's options.
There's those two options. So an unmarried couple or an unmarried group or I guess however you want to say it, unmarried, they're not legally bound.
Mm-hmm.
It may make sense for them to do tenants in common, but you need to decide that before you write the purchase agreement.
Yeah.
Or you'll have to amend the contract down the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just price, who's buying, and how are you taking title? Are you taking title as an LLC?
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking title as a corporation? How are you taking title? That's what it comes down to. And if you take title as a corporation or an LLC, do you have the legal authority to sign the purchase agreement for that entity?
Right.
Right? Many times we're dealing with an estate where someone has passed, and does the person who's signing the purchase agreement, or I guess for on the purchase, you're not dealing with an estate so much, but estates could purchase property.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the legal authority to buy?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it comes down to, because by the time you get to closing, everybody's going to want to know that you are who you say you are.
Yep.
And you have the legal authority to make that decision, to make that purchase.
Right.
So not only who's buying, at what price, but what property are you purchasing?
Mm-hmm.
Is the Do you have that defined?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the street address, but the legal description. Does that match what you think you're buying? Many times around the lakes, there'll be a boat lot somewhere down the way. You want to make sure if you're buying that property that you're also including the boat lot along the way. And I got to tell you, one of my first transactions in real estate years and years and years ago, I blew it. I did not ask for the boat lot. Thankfully for my client, I didn't. I missed it. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the agent on the other side reached out and said, Mark, did you realize you didn't ask for the other property?
Yeah.
Now, you say, well, they're not working in the best interest of their seller. Well, at some point that would have come up.
Yeah, but they were selling the property.
Correct.
Correct. Shouldn't have been in the.
It should have. I missed it on the purchase agreement. I made a mistake. Yes, okay. I did. I was wrong. It's tough to say, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just anxious that
I was happy to be.
Yeah, you're in a new career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I get it.
So the agent said, hey, no, we got it on there. Transaction never closed. We didn't get it to the table anyways.
Okay.
But, you have to make sure that you spelled out not only who, but what you're buying.
Right. And, and you're talking about, a lake property and the boat, what do you call it? The boat lot. Yeah. But also appliances. That's even more common because that's in like every home. Do appliances come with?
Absolutely.
There's and what do they say? If it's not attached to the wall, then
correct.
That personal property.
Yeah.
Like when I bought my house, we got a buffet. After the fact, but it wasn't a part of the deal.
Sure.
But then after they didn't want to move it.
Right. They would prefer to leave it.
Yeah, exactly. So they did a little deal on the side, and
yep.
I took it. So, all right, more about this. What is in an offer? You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski, and we're talking about what is in an offer.
Yeah, and before the break, you were talking about personal property, what's included, not included.
Yeah.
Many times, buyers will say, well, it's in the marketing stuff. It's in the remarks. I saw it on the web. I saw it on the seller's disclosure. Those two items do not dictate what goes with the property, what stays.
Yeah.
So breaking it down, or the 30,000 foot view of the contract, the purchase agreement spells out what stays and what does not.
Can I say something here?
Bring it on.
All right. In the, it wasn't the seller's disclosure, it was the marketing for the first property that I bought. It said blah, 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 3-bedroom, and then it said dry basement. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the seller's disclosure, it was not marked. Whether it was a dry basement. Yeah, they left it unmarked.
Right.
But I bought it. Here's the marketing stuff, and it said dry basement.
Right.
And about 2 weeks in, I had a leak in the basement, and it was funny because I saw the lady that lived there before. She was friends with the neighbors, and I saw her like walking to the neighbor's house, so I stepped outside. Hey, pardon me. Hey, I'll show you. I just painted the dining room. You want to see it? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Oh, while you're in the dining room, I wanted to show you something in the basement as well. And so, anyway, that was a great relationship. I ended up with her. Anyway, so that,
marketing remarks,
that's a problem.
The marketing remarks, and I'm primarily talking about inclusions. Many times the marketing remarks will say, all appliances stay.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? But on the contract, you don't want to write all appliances will stay. And I got to tell you, I've seen agents write that into a purchase agreement. What's your first thought when you hear all appliances stay?
All appliances stay.
But what are they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
What are they? Appliances that were there 20 years ago? Appliances that are there right now? Is it a refrigerator? Is it the washer and dryer? Define all appliances. So again, it's a contract. And then when you started the show today, you said details matter.
Yeah.
The purchase agreement should be detailed.
Yes.
You should spell out what is staying.
Absolutely. This piece of paper that you signed that has it broken down. Yes.
And many agents, and I, not generally in our area. I like to think we've got a great staff here at the Board of Realtors. The education process is good. We've got a lot of experience. There's some inexperience, but we've got, a good system here to where most of the agents will spell out what's staying. But occasionally I'll get an offer from an out-of-town agent that includes a copy of the MLS to it, and it says per MLS. They're late, in my opinion, it's a lazy method.
Yeah, right.
Spell it out, because you're signing a contract. Because otherwise, you just made an attachment to the contract.
Yeah.
By saying per the attached MLS.
Right.
Well, what's the date of that MLS? You
Right.
know, there's so many questions that come up.
Well, there's a disclaimer in every MLS that I've seen. It's like some things.
It says information is deemed reliable, not guaranteed.
Bingo. Yes.
Information is deemed reliable, not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So buyers, even if it says it in the marketing remarks, and if your agent doesn't think about it, make sure it's included. If you want it, make sure it's included.
Yeah.
If you don't want it, make sure to exclude it. If there's something there, because many times we go into, and I'll say an estate property, there may be stuff left hanging around. And in the marketing remarks, it said all furnishings will remain. Well, if you don't want those.
Yeah, right. That could be more of a problem.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
you don't want those, because now it's your problem to get rid of. If you don't want those items,
Yeah.
then make sure that they're excluded on the contract. Now, I got to tell you, on an estate sale, what are they trying to do? They're trying to sell it and not have to deal with it.
Yeah, right.
If you want that property, you might want to leave that. But if it's really a thing you're dead set against, I do not want these items, you need to make sure it's excluded from the contract.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about like hot tubs. Like we're in the lakes area.
Absolutely.
Hot tubs, that's a big,
Right.
and the owner may want to leave the hot tub because
Correct.
they don't want to deal with it,
They
but
don't
the
wanna
new
deal with
owner, the buyer,
May not want it.
yeah, they may not want to deal with it.
Now that all goes back to part of the negotiation. If you know you're negotiating and you think, well, maybe they really don't want to take it, are you willing to accept that and keep it there so that you get the property? It's all part of the big picture.
Right.
But in that offer, you're going to spell out all of those things. You're going to spell out what stays, what goes, the purchase price. And again, we generally think only purchase price, but there is a heck of a lot more to those offers than just, oh, well, I want to throw this out. Here's what I'm willing to pay.
Yeah. And so again, the devil is in the details for sure.
Devil is definitely in the details. If you don't spell it out, and there have been numerous court cases that have gone through the state of Indiana,
Right.
where people have come and said, well, it was on the seller's disclosure. That does not determine what is part of the contract.
That's why, and I think I know more than like most people out there, but that's why I would never do a for sale by owner. Because I tell you what, I would mess it up. I would miss something for sure.
Well, and I've seen numerous those where, hey, we've got the deal worked.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sale by owner.
Can
We've
you
got
just-
it all put together.
Can you just do the paperwork? Can you just do the paperwork?
And then we get to it, and it's totally different situation
Yeah.
than what may have been thought.
All right. So if you have questions about this, you want to call this guy right here, Mark Skabowski, and your phone number, please.
Sure, it's 574-834-1233.
All right. Awesome. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.